Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 24 Draft to Glory with the Kansas City Royals. We just had our most successful season to date. We finished 90 and 72. We made the playoffs. That's not where I wanted to go. We won the first round. We won the second round. Made it to the World Series, got swept in the World Series by the Nationals. So I would say that was a successful season. We've got some stuff to build on, some players to grow with, and we're not quite there. Not quite there. Our pitching staff is really, really good. Our offense is lagging a bit behind, although a couple of young players, Diego Guzman, Aiden Miller, of course, Escobar all came up last season. Well, Miller and Escobar came up last season and did a really nice job for us. So we should have a better offense going forward. And then we also have our top pick from this season, Tim McLean, who is likely our starting shortstop, maybe second baseman. I don't know. We don't have a scout right now. We're waiting for our scout to sign before we make any. I think before we make any real. We got a lot of salary arbitration stuff that we can deal with, but I want to make sure our scout signs first. So Gabby Martinez, showed up. This was his first year, so yeah. So did he sign, or did it say he was going to sign? Get him signed. All right, well, and Puentes as well, really. We'll let them go, and I'll hire somebody else afterwards. That's fine. Still haven't signed Gabby Martinez. That's what we're waiting on. There we go. Okay. All right. So now let's go in and let's offer contracts to everybody. I don't know that I want to give him 7. 5 takes until he's 34. I think if we give him 6, we can probably peel a bit off of each one of these, I would imagine. Cool. All right, 6 years, $40 million for Sarantola. Works for me. Kurdna. Ugh. I got to bring him back. His ARB estimate's 3.8, so let's offer him 3.65. Christian Little wants 4.6. What if is this his first year of arbitration? Because, I mean, we can take a look at signing some of these guys long term, but I don't know if it's worth it at this point. Yeah, this is his first year of ARB. So 4, 10, and 14 would be what he would be looking for potentially in arbitration. So he's 26. What if I did like a 7-year deal? Nope. Okay, that's fine. 4.6. So that gives us 4.4. Quaystad's 25. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Not quite ready to do that yet. 7.2. All right, so 1 year at 6.8. 6.9. I'm sure will work. Yeah. All right. Well, we can readdress that down the road. 1.4 for Cantorino, so 1.325. No, 1.35. Not that we need a whole lot of cash right now, but I would like to get scouting and development maxed out, which right now I don't have. Oh, while I'm doing this, guys, leave the video a like, subscribe, join the Discord. It means a lot to me. The interaction, the comments, the just the overall engagement on the series is a lot of fun. I'm gonna make the videos whether you guys are watching them or not, but the fact that you are watching them is not what I wanted to do. The fact that you guys are watching them is pretty cool. So appreciate you, and I will continue to appreciate you. Oh, come on. 950. What are we doing here? 975. Oh, okay, because he wanted 2.060. He wants 1938, so 1875 will probably work. Yep. Will Klein at 4. What if we did 3? No, he wants $8 million. No, thank you. So 4 million for one, so 3850. Blake Hunt wants 1.6, 1525. Carter Jensen at 4.2. So 4. Will he take 4? Or does it have to be like 4? So we're gonna have to be like 4075 or something. That's 40 million. Yep. All right, so that'll work. And then Tyler Gentry, who's not good, hasn't been good for us, was really, really good in AAA last year. But I think we're going to withdraw. So let's try 1 year at 3.4. Okay, he'll take that, so we can withdraw there. So we offered contracts to everyone. Look at all the minor league free agents we have. We're just going to go in and I'm going to offer contracts to all of them. And then offline, I will cut the ones that don't need to be with the team anymore. I think it's probably the plan. Ooh. He's a captain. Let's put him on the big league roster for now. I like having the depth. I don't necessarily know that we're going to need him, but I like having the depth. Panzini's another one, man. I think we're going to do the same thing with him. Oh, 40 man's full. All right. Oh, he's a pending free agent. Okay. So I can probably designate for assignments and then put Panzini on the 40 man. Yeah. We're gonna have a couple of spots on the 40 man when we get to the Rule 5. So Tawa doesn't want to sign his contract. That's fine. He can walk. We signed Little. We signed Sarantola. We signed Hunt. We didn't get fan interest bumps for any of those guys. That's a bit surprising, especially like, you know, Quaystad and Little. It's a little surprising that we didn't get any fan interest bumps. No Gold Gloves. What is our fan interest? 58. All right. So we are gonna have. You know what? I want to bump this to 28. And 27 is the max, and then 36 should be the max here, right? Yeah. Wanted to get those maxed out. I get a fan interest bump for Will Klein. It's better than nothing, I guess. Zach Green is the reliever of the year. This is less about what's going on around the league and more about what's going on with our team. Yeah, see, like another... I mean, he's been really good in AAA, just not good enough to pitch for us. Platinum Stick. Nobody. Rookie of the Year, Pete Holden. Those are some good ratings for a rookie. We didn't have anybody there. Bit of a surprise. The manager of the year, did we get that? No, Seattle. Michael Saunders. Cy Young was to Jose Corniel. Wow. Edgel, Quaystad, and Little all finished in the top 10. And Julio Rodriguez is your MVP. Diego Guzman finishes 4th. Let's just go ahead and release him. Arbitration. I gotta figure out how to get a mic that doesn't hear me moving around in my chair. That's, I think, my next purchase. Or just get a different chair, I guess. All right, so we didn't have anybody file for arbitration. Oh, my God. He's not really a 75. I mean, he's got 6 pitches, but not a 75 overall. Look at that. 80 movement, 70 control. All right. Rule 5. Where's my coffee? Right here. Augusto Mendieta on the 40-man. What do we have for 40-man space right now? We got 2. Okay. I think Madug, no problem. He was the 6th overall pick. That was such a bad draft pick. Look at all these guys that need to go on the 40-man. We're going to have some decisions to make here. We are definitely going to have some decisions to make. Okay. Designate him. Johnson's coming along slowly, man, but he's coming along. He was one of our first draft picks. Yeah, we literally have no space on the 40-man now. All right. I think Darvin Cruz can probably get DFA'd. I think anybody's going to take him. Nye isn't ready. What does our new scout think of some of our players? He likes Guzman more. All right, let's just go. Let's get to the Rule 5. We'll take a look at all that when we get to the start of the season. So I think the strategy is going to be the same. See if maybe we can find a slick fielding shortstop to replace Goldner, whose bat has been just god-awful. I think we're okay now in center field with Escobar and Vaquero as a combination. Miller can play left. I mean, oh God, the contact's down to a 35. I mean, I think defensively Goldner can still play short, but I gotta do this. I gotta get scouting on all these players. Same thing here. All right. Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot to do? This. This is not good. All right. What do we got? Luis Navarro. Really good. Strong relationship. League interest is very high, which means it's going to cost a lot of money. Good pitchers in here, man. A lot of good pitchers. We'll invite those 4, I guess. Yeah, we'll invite those 4. Batters. Rivera. I'm seeing a lot more, and I think I may have said this in the last video, or it may have been the Blues video, but a lot of great bats who can't field to save their lives. Like, none of these catchers have catcher ability over 50. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. Let's run practice. Cool. All right. Now we can get to the Rule 5. Man, we were close. We were close. Brewers want to send us Jefferson Cuero, which, you know, if this wasn't a draft to glory, I would consider it. Another trade proposal. Rule 5. Excuse me. All right, we're at the Rule 5. We have, what, one spot on the 40-man? We do. Well, let's see what's in the Rule 5 first before we do anything. Is there anybody we need to put on the 40-man before I lose anybody? I don't care if I lose Roque. Carver, meh. Lopez, meh. Yeah, I mean, if I lose some of these guys, I lose some of them. I only have 40 spots to play with. Alright, so we didn't lose anybody. Let's go to fielding ratings, infield range. What do we got? Nestor Cannavaro. His bat's worse than Goldner's. I mean, he still has some room to grow. That might be the pick. Chad Phillips, I guess. Just based off this, I don't see anything from a batter perspective that I would jump at. Let's look at pitching potential. Why is this guy extremely popular? Interesting. All right. Hurston Waldrop, still on here. All right. I mean, he's sort of developing. You can call him up to AAA. Kendry Rojas. I mean, I don't really have a spot for these guys on the roster, but let's just do it. Noticeably. So it puts us at a 61. And I think if we want that, if we want that shortstop, we're going to have to drop somebody from our 40, which is fine, I think. I mean, I think we just drop Goldner, right? I mean, that's what we do here. Take Phillips. And I think we finished the draft. Not a great Rule 5. We also didn't have a lot of space, so it's fine. All right, let's just get up to international amateurs. Double A. Let's get to next month. January 1st. Scouting, international, run practice. Cool. Let's get to internationals. All right. So, what do we have? 5.7. All right. Guardo looks okay. From an offensive perspective, Rivera, 16 years old. Arturo James is probably the 70. I don't know. I like Rivera with the eye and discipline, but I think we go after Navarro. I think wants 850. Can we get 2 of these guys? Low work ethic. He wants 2.4. High work ethic. Can we get Navarro and Serrano? So we have 5.7 to spend. So if we go, I don't know, like, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Ow, sorry about that. It's not going to be enough. So let's get the guy we want and then figure out from there. So he only wants 850. I wonder if we offered him like 3, would that be enough? It is. Okay. So we still have 2.7. Can we get Serrano for 2.7? Can't imagine we get Serrano for 2.7, but we'll see. Yeah. All right, so none of those batters that we were looking at are still there. Ismael Machado. Get him for 2.7. No, we can't. All right, what about... yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get him either, but we'll try. Got a slight bump in budget. So now we to do it from here. Aguilar favors our offer. All right. Yeah, we're not going to get him either. So let's go back. Where are we going? I guess we just eat the rest of the money. That's a bit disappointing. All right. All right, guys. Well, I am going to sim up to opening day. We will come back and we'll set the roster and then we'll get to some simming. So I'll be right back. All right, guys. We are back. It is opening day, or almost opening day. We've got some interesting players on the trade block that we can't do anything with. Ooh, wow. Tristan Cassius. He's had a couple of decent seasons. Never been able to get him to develop fully. Always bothers me. This is about what he usually ends up as for me, which isn't bad. I mean, I guess if he gives the Sox 140 home runs over the next 6 years, I'll take it. But yeah, anyway. Sidetracked. This isn't about the Red Sox. This is about the Royals. So we are at 38 players, 19 pitchers. Pitching ratings. So we got to cut 6. So Johnson, Rojas, Nye can all go down. Kendry Rojas. Oh, he was a Rule 5 guy. I guess we just release him. No, we don't take a fan interest bump for it. That's kind of nice. Wyatt Kroll was a Rule 5 guy last year. Wasn't particularly good. All right, so we're at 15. We have to send 2 more down. Panzini and Austin Charles, who's still, yeah. All right, let's see if we can get some cash for Austin Charles. I mean, the game obviously likes him, so yeah. I mean, look at some of the players that we're getting in. You know, 60 overall. Well, I guess he's on a bad contract. All right, so let's just start with a big dollar amount. Oh, Yasser Mercedes. He's had 2 good years in a row. I don't want to. Still nothing. Panzini, Mendez, Kurdna, Cantorino. Ground ball pitcher. I don't want to get rid of ground ball pitchers. Not that our infield is all that great, but Maltman, Mendez, Panzini, Rivas. I feel like we're getting close. Excuse me. Sean Gamble. I hate trading away prospects. I mean, if we bump this back up to 10 and include Cantorino, he's just an average pitcher. Where is he? Right there. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, because I put in 1 million. Boston cannot afford. All right, let's try a different team. They have 14 million. There we go. Marcelo Meyer, Charles, and Cantorino. We take 10. about 8? Let's go to 9 because we know we can now get 8. Cool. What if we remove him? Yeah, you can have Bustos. Juan Bustos, who is not particularly good. Austin Charles, who we need to move, who's, I mean, albeit a decent defensive third baseman, but that's about it. And Jeffrey Fillen, a 27-year-old catcher for $9 million from the Detroit Tigers. That'll work. So we still have to send. No, we don't have to send any more pitchers down. We are good. So Edgel. So we got our starting rotation. Make sure we bump this up to 110. What does it want to do for our bullpen? Oh, wait. Oops. Yeah. Let me fix that. All right. Quaystad is out for 3 days. All right. Yeah, he'll be fine. Now, let's do that. All right. So Klein and then Mendieta and Mendez as our setup men. Cantorino, Hernandez, Henderson and Hernandez as our middle relievers. Meyer and Kerdna as our long men. Kerdna is kind of that 6th starter. Meyer will be the 7th. See, I think we're okay. We're still good from a pitching perspective. I think we did a nice job building our rotation. And then offensively, we have to send down 6. That shouldn't be too hard. Let's give Guzman a try. 3 straight seasons of 20-plus home runs in the majors. Send Lastras to the minors. So we'll go Hunt and Guzman. It's fine. Antonio Anderson can go to AAA. Tonti can go to AAA. We still have to send 3 more down. Caminiti. Madugano. And we have to send 1 more to the minors. Sal Stewart wasn't bad. Colmenares can't really hit, but he's the better defensive player. And I think Maltman's ready to go. I think we start him at first base. At least against lefties. Right? And then Carter Jensen can start against righties. Yep, so Sal Stewart will go to AAA. I'm looking at my little monitor. I'm dumb. Sometimes forget that I have this large monitor sitting right next to my laptop, and I'm still using my laptop to play the game. All right. We still don't really have a leadoff hitter. I mean, Maltman is probably that guy. At least against lefties. So we'll go Escobar. Yeah, he's not good against righties either. I don't want to go with Escobar. 55. Let's do this. Witt, Guzman. Miller. That's right, we're a bit different team this year. Do we go Carter Jensen? Let's go Carter Jensen batting leadoff at first base. He's got the 55i. The avoid K is 45. It's not great. It's not terrible on base percentage given his batting average. Muncy will be our DH. Escobar will bat 6th and center. Mercedes in Chad Phillips last. Do we go Guzman? No, we're gonna stick with Blake Hunt just because he's the best defensive catcher we have. He wants to start Maltman every fourth game. That's fine. Vaquero. He wants to start Diego Guzman. No. Colmenares. All right. Let's copy, paste, and we're gonna put Maltman in at first. Probably the only team in the league who bats our first baseman leadoff on both sides. Guzman doesn't really have splits. I think we'll do something like this and get Guzman plenty of playing time. Muncy is the DH. I want to make any other. I don't think I want to make any other changes. Vaquero, slightly better ratings against lefties. Yeah, I think that is good. Yeah. McLean probably starts the season in high A ball. Ballesteros still is in the international complex. Same thing with Solorio. Any other minor leaguers we want to call up? He's fine where he is. Swan is probably another catcher who's up next season. We got a lot of catching prospects. I mean, we may want to try trading some of that for depth. We have 95 players in the international or in rookie ball, so we can go through and just quickly. I will go through and waive anybody who is usually over 23, like 23 and over, who is a 20 or is maxed out already 2025, or who is maxed out in their potential. Like if someone's a 2030 and they're 25 years old, I'll probably still keep them. Like this guy here, Berge, is a 2035 overall. All right, so it gets us down to 68. Still way too many. And this was something I said I was going to do previously, but you guys get to watch me do it now. Go ahead and cut anybody who is a 2020. That is oldish. And by oldish, I just mean older than the league they should be in. 26 and 27-year-olds in high A ball. I should for Asa Lacey. Still have him stuck in Double A. All right, that's fine. He never developed. It's probably as much my fault as it is anything else. Lucas has a decent bat. Yeah, so like I have way too many catchers. Like some of these guys need to be traded. All right, so that should... Okay, gets us down to 48. Yeah, I got a lot of catchers I need to move on from, so that might be something I do here just really quickly offline, is find like the 3 or 4 worst catchers I have, and trade them. Like, let's see if anybody... Can I get... Ooh. I don't want to trade him. Bat's not terrible. But, like, I have to think that we're close. Yep. There we go. We can get it done here. So, what was his name? Olmos. So if we go back up to 5 and we put Olmos in, and I'm not going to sit here and have you guys watch this, but this is just a way to try to pick up some extra money, you know, to potentially sign. Excellent. Potentially sign some of our other players. Luca Reyes, sure. So Carver, Olmos, and Reyes to the Braves for $5 million, and that's the sort of thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it all now. That's some of the stuff that I will do here while we sim up to the draft. I am recording. I am getting audio. Cool. All right. Reach the playoffs. All right. Here's where things start to get hairy. I need to make the playoffs this year in order to. If I don't make the playoffs, if I have a bad season, we take a big budget hit. Top 100 prospects. Ballesteros is third. Yeah, we have $36 million available right now, but none for extensions because we jump up from $90 million to $125 million. So I do need to trade some of these players here before too long. Like Blake Hunt, this may be his last season with us. I don't know, man. If he can give us that, that's fine. But we've got some players that we're going to need to sign here shortly. Quaystad and Little, most notably. Guzman's going to start to get expensive next year. So we have not some problems, but we've got some money for extensions. We need to take advantage of it because that money at this point is gone next year. So I'll continue to try to trade from a position of depth and trade some of these players that we no longer need. And see how it goes. So, all right, we'll be back at the draft. Yeah, it's April 4th. We'll be back on July 11th. Be right back. All right, it is draft time, and your Royals are 53-34. We are well in the postseason. We're 3.5 games behind the Twins. I think we have the two best records in the American League. Houston's got me by half a game. The Twins were like 41-13 or something like that at some point during the regular season. They were a force. But we sit at 53-34. We had a really good April, a bad May, and a really good June. And so far, a good July. So you can see we've been playing good baseball. We are 7th in runs scored, having some really, really good seasons from some people. Our pitching staff continues to be solid, although Chris Edgell's having a bit of a down season. You can see his ratings dropped a little bit. Hopefully that control comes back. But he is still on pace for 230 strikeouts and almost 4 WAR. But our bullpen has been electric at 2.42 ERA. Defensively, we're one of the best teams in the American League. So it is it's going well this year. We'll start with the pitching. Christian Little, 10-2 with a sub-3 ERA. He's been our ace this year. Dylan Quaystad got off to a rough start at an ERA of like 4.5, almost 5 through April, but he's rebounded nicely as well. Talked about Edgell, Murphy Brooks, our number 5 starter. 5.25 ERA, but only a 3.57 FIP. So have to think that will even out as we go through the season. Will Klein has been amazing. He pitched, I think it was the first 22 innings scoreless this year. He's got 30 saves at the draft. He's on pace for 50, 56. Yeah, he's been unbelievable. Sarantola's been fine. Only 54 hits allowed in 80 innings. Yeah, that's really good. I mean, look at some of the whips for some of our starters. Murphy Brooks is the highest at 1.4. But Little's at 0.87, Quaystad at 1.07, Sarantola at 1.14. Andres Diaz was hurt, came back and has been amazing. Mendez has, our bullpen has been really good. We don't have a single pitcher who's been a negative WAR guy. And we called up Cameron Johnson, stuck him in the bullpen. He's listed as a starter, set position reliever. And he's been good as well. I mean, as that, kind of last man out of the pen, he's been fine. Lineup-wise, look at the season Diego Guzman is having. He's at 4.7 WAR through July 11th. He's on pace for 8.8 WAR, 48 home runs, 127 RBIs. Best player in the league, maybe. Yasser Mercedes, the ratings don't suggest he should be this good a player, but he's on pace for almost 5 WAR this year. So we just keep throwing him out there. Carter Jensen's done a nice job in the leadoff spot, almost a 345 on base percentage. Some of these BABIPs are kind of high, but Yeah, 12 home runs on the year, 293 average. He's been good. Bobby Witt's been fine. He's on pace for about 3 WAR. At this point, that's what he is. If we can get 3 wins out of him every year, I will take it. He's playing above average third base. He's given us enough offense out of the 2-hole. Blake Hunt, 1.2 WAR because that batting average is higher than you would anticipate from him while still giving you that elite defense. Maltman, our rookie, not bad. Not bad. Not a lot of power. He hit 3 home runs in them recently. He didn't hit any home runs, I think, until June. Yeah, he's been fine. He's been fine. I mean, the WAR is a little light, but he'll come along and he'll be our leadoff hitter probably against lefties and righties next season. Aiden Miller struggling in his second season, 229, but I don't really have anybody else to bat in that 4-hole. Power is the one thing we're really lacking outside of Guzman, and he's got to be our number 3 hitter. Escobar still has some room to grow. I mean, if the ratings end up 55, 65, 55, 55, 60, he's going to be really good. The bat hasn't been there this year, but again, above average defensively. Jake Swan we called up because Adonis Guzman wasn't hitting. And he's given us some pop. We actually have a catcher with a little bit of home run power. 7 home runs in 36 games and 843 OPS, and he's really good defensively. So this is a pretty good combination we have behind the plate now. Chad Phillips, 229 average. I didn't expect him to hit, anything over 220 or 230. But defensively, he's been great. So doing exactly what we need him to do. Vaquero's been fine in a backup role. Colmenares has been fine in a backup role. Max Muncy's not hitting. Negative .9 WAR, but I don't really have another solution. I don't think there's anybody in AAA who's ready to come up. I mean, I guess we could go back to Sal Stewart. In fact, let's try that. Let's see to the minors. Stewart comes up. And we'll stick Stewart in the lineup at DH and see how that goes. He's doing okay in AAA, so we'll see how that goes. So that's been our offense. From a prospect perspective, Betanti is what he is at this point. He's not really hitting. I don't know if he's going to make it. I think we have any other prospects per se in AAA. Yeah, Madugno's flaming out. AA, that's where we have. Is he hurt again? No, there he is. We just called Tim McLean up to AA, but less than a month ago. He's put up an 884 OPS in high A, 834 in AA. Yeah, I mean, he probably finishes the year in AA, starts next season in AAA. I mean, maybe he's another year, 2 years off. I don't know. We'll see. And Naba is just a prospect who's developed really nicely here over the last. You can see his potential ratings have increased over the last year or so. Bathgate, not really a shortstop. I was hoping we could get that infield range at a 65, but he won't be a bad replacement for Colmenares probably in the next year or two. High A ball, Prieto, his ratings have started to dip. He's not really hitting in high A ball, but we'll continue to let him sit there. He's not a center fielder. He's a left fielder. But, yeah, he went from an 80 to a 60. We also had this guy, Frank Lara. His ratings just increased. Like, look at his potential. It went from a 50 to an 80 at the last scouting report. And you can see there's been some growth there. So he looks like he could be a decent bat. Cook was our first round pick a couple of years ago. He's been fine. I mean, I think we can. I mean, the ratings don't suggest he can play higher than A-ball right now, but we'll see. Another catching prospect, McQuirk, the second round pick in 2029. I don't know. He should be in high A-ball with his ratings, but he's not there yet. Ibarra, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we can call him up. The ratings don't suggest that he's ready for it, but he's hitting. That's kind of the way things are. We're 53 and 34, 3.5 games out of first place, and it's time for the draft. We're picking 29th. It's our first draft where we are not picking at the top. So let's see what sort of talent we can get at 29. We got Ismili Slaga, 18-year-old who's really well developed already. He's not a center fielder, but really well developed for an 18-year-old. I think that might be the pick. But we will... Who do they think we should take? John Legacy Bowden. 18 years old out of Peru. He's really, really good. But I don't know. Taking a high school pitcher at this point seems... I don't want to say short-sighted. That's not the right term for it, but he looks really good, man. $18-year-old, 6'8", 200 pounds, but he's so far off. I mean, offensively is where we need help. I mean, he's not exactly close either at 18, but... Ismili Slaga. Ground ball hitter. The potential dipped from an 80 to a 75. The potential contact has been up and down a bit. Bowden has gone from an 80 to a 75. The potential movement dropped and then has been stagnant for the last year and a half. Not a lot of dip there from Bowden. Potential stuff dropped from a 75 to a 70. Yeah, this I'm not crazy about. He's gone from an 80 to a 70 in the last year, which is still elite, but... Ooh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. This is kind of where I wish I was doing this live, right? And I could just ask for your help. I mean, it really is coming down to Slaga, who only wants $300,000. I mean, again, he's not a center fielder. He's probably a left fielder with that outfield profile. I still think we go batter. I think we're going to go batter. Let me know what you guys think I should have done. Do I go with Ismili Slaga? He's a pretty well-developed 18-year-old, probably a left fielder. Or do we go the high ceiling of John Bowden? Because he's likely not to be there with our next pick. But we will draft Slaga. Yep, he's not there. And that's what I anticipated. So did I make the wrong decision? Did I make the right decision? You guys let me know. We do have Shelby Astrom, 6'2", 285-pound righty. Again, pretty well-developed 18-year-old. Extreme ground ball. The control's rough. High work ethic. I'm going to plug him in right now and just make sure that there's nobody else. I kind of like that as a pick right at the chute. B.O. Gorham. That's a rough name, man. Let's look at batters real quick. Alfredo Barrientos. He can play center field. I love the contact and gap power. Everything else looks okay. If he's there with the next pick, we may take him. Wow, that's for sure, a 17-year-old, that's impressive. 35 contact, gap power, and iron discipline. Mercado looks okay. A couple of decent... call them overagers just because I am in kind of hockey mode, but older draftees, college players rather than your high school. And another one here, Joe Haynes, 20-year-old. So there's plenty of older center fielders that can fit a role. So I think we take Shelby Jester Astrom. He's only 18, but again, already with 40 movement, already a 45 fastball, 40 slider, high work ethic. Shelby Astrom. Third pick. Looks like all those overagers are gone. Maybe not all of them. There's a couple here still. Draft another catcher and just keep trading them for cash. It's working so far. Josh Wade. Looks all right. Not a lot of high work ethic guys. It's a bit surprising. Jesus Eslava has a high work ethic, but he's just okay. Oops. Juan Flores, high work ethic, but only a 55 catcher ability. And he's not bad, but he would be like 8th on my list of catchers right now. Greg Drinkwater is high work ethic, impossible signing. We got plenty of money. We can probably bring him in, but Chase Hextall. I like Zach Schmidt. I don't like the defensive ratings, but I mean, as a catcher, he's 18 years old. A lot of good catchers in this draft. We got for pitchers left. Gorham's still there. He looks pretty well developed for. I can't believe I'm going to take a reliever. Am I going to take a reliever? I don't think I am. David Ramos with the nickname of Roe MacArthur. I have no idea what that means. But good stuff, good movement. The control's okay. Doesn't have a fastball, high work ethic. Looks all right. Nate Buckley. Wow. Okay. Yep. That's our pick. Doesn't have great stamina, but he already has 3 developed pitches. His stuff and his movement is already developed. We're going to take Nate Buckley. Back to batters now. I think we'll take the kid here. Oh, he's unknown. Both of these guys are unknown. All 3 of them are. Locke, Hextall, and Drinkwater. So we'll wait another round or 2 maybe. He's impossible as well. He's impossible as well. Wow. Wow, all these guys are impossible. I think we take Schmidt. Abramowitz, no. We could take a Slava here with the high work ethic. 50 overall. Had some decent ratings. Are any of those impossible guys still there? No, it looks like they all went. It's fine. Chris Campbell. Yeah, we'd take Campbell. It's a decent enough bat. Back to pitchers. All right, so all the decent players, or at least all the decent ratings, are gone. So we're going to have to do a little hunting here, which is fine. That's part of this, right? And find those gems, individual pitch potential. We got any knuckleballers? We do not. Let's circle change, not from a starter perspective. Mike Espinoza, no. Changeup that won't develop. I mean, that's not bad. The changeup won't develop, so it's really a 2-pitch pitcher. What about Waltz? Yeah, Jimmy Waltz is somebody I don't mind taking because he's got the stuff in the move. I don't think I'm going to take him here just because he's only at 20. He'll be there with our next pick. But 3 potential plus pitches. The stuff in the movement are okay enough. And then he's got the high work ethic. mean, the pitches are already developed, but Shearer at 21 looks pretty well developed. Snorton. Chris Snorton. 45, 50, 50. Let's look at fielding ratings. Not overly impressed by the pitchers that are there right now. Dave Haggerty, high work ethic, 75. Oh, God, that bat's terrible. Bat is terrible. Glove is amazing, but that bat is terrible. Roman Brokaw. Yeah, he looks okay. Bat looks passable. First base and shortstop. It's an interesting combination. Kari looks okay. I think we'll take him. Any good catchers left? I don't appear to. Let's go back to the individual pitch potential. Yeah, Waltz is still there. Heim is still there. These are all players we looked at. All right, we're going to take Heim here. 17-year-old, super underdeveloped, but maybe. Maybe there's something there. Kevin Haynes, his changeup is a 25. Questions whether it'll ever develop. Medina, no. Take McDonald, 6'7", 210 pounds. Don't normally take relievers, but he looks okay. We can take Waltz here. 18-year-old with high work ethic. He's a 2020, so you know it's going to require something in order for him to really really develop. We got Walsey, high work ethic catcher with 65 power. Womack doesn't have a position, but he's a high work ethic guy. My stomach is making noises. Okay. I see you, Josh Mako. The 70i. A lot of catchers, man. So many catchers. Toll-free is probably somebody we can trade, like, right away. A decent eye, decent power. Look at all the catchers, man. They're just everywhere. Who's the oldest player in the draft? All three of them are catchers. Of course they are. Who's the youngest player in the draft? Dan Marshall. Okay. We'll take the youngest player in the draft with a high work ethic. I'm down with that. Pitchers. Let's take a look at our high work ethic, guys. Nesty Abieta. Yeah. Okay. I didn't see this guy before, but I will take Nesty Abieta. Abietia. John Bosco is really bad, but has high work ethic. He's really bad and has high. They're all really bad. Rob Lee, the changeup doesn't develop, so he's a two-pitch guy. All right, I'm going to let the AI do the last two picks. That's how we're going to do that. So let me know what I should have done with my top pick. We took Esmili Slaga. He's not going to be a center fielder. He'll probably be a left fielder for us, but I couldn't pass up those offensive ratings. He's pretty well developed for an 18-year-old already. We'll go ahead and meet his demand. Then we took Shelby Astrom with our second pick. Again, not a pretty well-developed 18-year-old, 30 stuff, 40 movement, high work ethic. Nate Buckley, we drafted him because he is almost, he even got better already. Yeah, he looks like he could be a pretty good pick. He'll be ready within the next year or two. Zach Schmidt, catcher with some pop in his bat. Not a great defensive catcher, but looks like he could be a DH. Slava, just a young, projectable outfielder. Looks not terrible. And then Chris Campbell was our 6th round pick. Third baseman, okay defensively, good contact, average power. Meet the demand. And submit. All right. So we've got $36 million. I want to make sure that we try to get some of these players locked down long term. Little and Quaystad are the two big ones. We still have them for 2 more years after this, but if I do that, I would do that. What does he want next year? 12.8. If I do 6, bump this down to 27.5. Bump this down to 25. Bump this down to 14. I can't. This has to be less than his ARB number. So 13. Yeah. So the problem is I can't offer him more than 12.8 because what if we do 5? Nine, 19, 22, 22, 22. I think we do it. So we get him for a little bit less next season, and then we buy out 3 years of free agency. So 5 years, $94 million for Little. I'm good with that. Klein, what does he want? Lock Klein up. We do that. Okay. 4 years, $34 million for Klein. I'm good with that. We will be able to free up some money. We do have some players here that will trade or that will, and this is the big one. Guzman wants 8.9 for next season. He's 26. Oof. So we're going to bump that down. Let's make this 20. Let's make this 30. Make these 40. Nope. Would he do that? Oh, this has to be less. He won't. Okay. All right. Let's try it again. He wants 8.9 for... So I'm gonna make this 8.8. Make these 240. No, not. Make this 20. What about if we just make this one 40? I did it again. I can't offer him more than 8.8. What if we just give him what he wants? Okay. So I'll offer him 8.8. 5 years, $151 million. So, yeah. So the only one that we haven't locked down yet is Quaystad, and I will continue to work on that. I got to get that first year below 12.8. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this section. I'm going to go ahead and sim, and hopefully we'll be back a couple of years before the season stops. I'll be right back. All right. We're back. It's the end of the regular season, and this is our, I think, our second straight 91 and 71 finish. No, we finished 91 and 70. This is our best record ever. It wasn't a great end of the season, to be honest with you. 16 and 7, then 12 and 15, 18 and 9, 16 and 9, and then back-to-back 12 and 15 seasons. They finished well behind Minnesota in second place. We did finish October 5 and 1, so we finished the regular season hot. I think we had the American League's leader in batting average. Why am I going there? Statistics. Diego Guzman led the American League in batting average with a 309 mark. Second in home runs, fourth in RBIs. He was first in OPS, first in WAR, first in hits, first in total bases. We should have an MVP on our hands. Look at Chad Phillips. Finished first in sacrifice bunts. Good for him. So we finished with the best hitter in the American League. I'm kind of glad I didn't sign Edgel to an extension. His ratings have dropped. The stuff is still there, but the movement's down to a 55. The control's down to a 35. So no longer 80, 70, 40. Now 75, 55, 35. So we'll just kind of let him work out his arbitration and see how he does. Quaystad had a great year. The innings were down because, like a dum-dum, I forgot to change that. But 12 and 6, 4.3 WAR. He was really good for us this year. Christian Little, he was a Rule 5 guy, and he's been getting better and better each season. .99 whip this season, struck out almost 250 batters. Murphy Brooks wasn't as bad as his ERA would let on. That 336 BABIP didn't help. Sarantola had a good year. Didn't throw a lot of pitches, 150 innings. That 45 stamina keeping him down a little, but he's fine as our number 4 and number 5. Our pitching staff was good, as it's been every single year. So no complaints there. And then our offense is finally getting it done. We have some talent. We have some more young talent coming up. Guzman with just a monster year. 309, 370, 567, 156 OPS plus, 6.5 WAR. Bobby Witt, nice season. 27 home runs, 86 runs knocked in. 772 OPS, played an above average third base. So all in all, not bad. Not worth $35 million, but in the kind of the way that our game is being played, it's fine. I mean, he's not going to be worth it at the end. Yasser Mercedes, I don't know, man. 18 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and 821 OPS, 51 extra base hits. He was really good. Carter Jensen had a nice year, career high in batting average, OPS plus, WAR. Had a higher WAR, but played 30 fewer games because we protected him against lefties. Blake Maltman did exactly what we thought he would. Had a few extra base hits, put up a 357 on base percentage. If that contact ends up at a 65 next year, he'll probably start against both lefties and righties. Aiden Miller bounced back. It was a rough start to the finish. End of the season, ended up with 20 home runs, 85 RBIs. He was above average with the bat. He was slightly below average with the glove. I would like to make him the DH and then put somebody else in left field who can field a little bit better. Our catching tandem of Hunt and Swan, 11 home runs, 59 knocked in. No complaints there. Chad Phillips did a good job at short. The bat was bad, but he was really, really good defensively. And that was really that. As far as prospects go, again, nobody really in AAA, we've got Natsume and Naba. McLean is our top prospect, 294, 876 OPS in AA. He'll probably start next season in AA because he's not ready. Like, calling him up to AAA right now would be pointless. We'll let him continue to develop in AA next year. Bathgate, he might be ready to come up next season. I mean, he hit 316. He might be the guy who replaces replaces Colmenares, and then we can trade Colmenares, perhaps. I don't know. Prieto's numbers are going the wrong way. Mike Johnston was a 6th-round pick in 2027 at 313. You should probably disable and call him up. Ramirez. Disable. How did he do? 305. Yeah, that's not bad. Had a lot of players in the DSL that were starting to develop. Buckley was our 3rd-round pick this year. The ratings aren't good, or the stats weren't good, but the ratings are fine. I mean, his stuff and his movement have both increased. Controls at a 40-45. He's got the 3+ pitches. Probably call him up now, too. Lara, we're going to have to put on the 40-man this year and hope that the development is quick. And then Ibarra and Cook were Ibarra was an international guy. Oh, he was a 2nd-round pick. I take that back, in 2028. And he didn't really hit an A-ball, but the ratings look pretty good. Cook, yeah, I mean, it's an empty batting average still because there's no home run power and there's no gap power yet, but hopefully soon. Laux, catcher with a pretty decent bat. 807 OPS in A-ball, so we can go ahead and call him up to high A-ball. Johnson is the best fielding catcher in our system. Call him up there. Montana is a pitcher we signed an international in 2027. Still has a ways to go, but 3 good pitches, good stuff, good movement. The controls iffy. Slaga was our first pick, and only at a $194, but put up a 426 on base percentage and 264 slugging. So the bat is a ways to go, but I still like what we see out of him. In fact, let's list it as a center fielder. Let's make him a left fielder because that's where he's going to play. Schmidt, only 2 home runs, and then Ostrom was our 2nd pick, and he walked too many, but it's fine as an 18-year-old. So that's kind of where we are, 91 and 71, and it's time for the postseason. We do have it's going to be Little and Sarantola going in the first 2. I think we have to go with a 3-man rotation and not pitch Quaystad at all. What am I doing? Where am I going? Strategy. Let's bench him for 3 days. We don't want him pitching. We got Cleveland, 82 and 80. As we start the postseason, they were 4 and 9 against us this year. Let's just get to it. So we got Jorge Medina, 10 and 8, against not Chris Edgel. It's going to be against Christian Little in Game 1. And Game 1 is a 4-0 win for the Guardians. Is this going to be one of those years where we get knocked out earlier than we thought? Lambert against Sarantola in Game 2. The series is tied at 1. We win 6-2. 4-run bottom of the 10th. Grand slam, a walk-off grand slam by Escobar at the bottom of the 10th inning. Sarantola does a nice job, and I think we got to rely on Edgel here in Game 3. I'm not crazy about that, but I mean, we could go Murphy Brooks. No, we're going to go Edgel. He's our guy. Cesar Lares, 12 and 4 with a 3.38. It looks like he's their ace against Chris Edgel in Game 3, and we lose. We lose 6-4, and it doesn't look like Edgel pitched badly. Ran out of steam in the 6th, and our season is over. So we make the World Series last year. We get knocked out in the wild card this season. We had the top 2 hitters in the American League. Look at that, Guzman and Mercedes. We'll probably have the MVP in Guzman. But we're going to come up short. We're going to see who wins the World Series, and then we will call it a day. All right, international amateurs. We got to do that real quick. Change-up that doesn't develop, but he looks really good nonetheless. Same thing with Yorba. It's probably a 2-pitch pitcher, honestly, but we can invite him anyway. And this is somebody I would like. An extreme ground ball pitcher only wants 180 grand. Take a look at the batters, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of high potential impact bats who can't field. Ortega's second baseman. That's actually not a bad fielding ratings given what we've seen recently. Ramirez can't field. DePena can't field, but we'll invite them anyway. I think we'll invite Flores too, just to get scouting on all of them, I guess. So this was actually a little disappointing, truth be told. I didn't necessarily expect to win it all, but I expected to, maybe win the division and, make another run at it. But Edgel losing some of that ability really hurts. So hopefully we'll get some more development here during the offseason from some of our young players. Well, but at least we lost to the team that beat us in the division, Minnesota Twins. They won the division. They were the best team in baseball most of the year. They take out the Dodgers in the 2030 World Series. So we're getting there. We're close, guys. We are close. We are certainly close. So, yeah, that's going to do it. So I don't think we have any money. We're negative $18 million. We have a lot of arbitration cases that we need to deal with. Wow, this control's down to a 30. Huh. Glad I didn't sign him. Glad I didn't sign him. Yeah, we should be able to save a little bit of money here. Losing Lane Henderson's going to hurt. We can't sign anybody. Yeah. So that'll be for the next episode, guys. We've got some arbitration. We've got some Rule 5. And hopefully we have some World Series. That's going to do it for this season. Draft to Glory with the Royals. We come up a bit short, but we will get right back at it. Thanks for watching. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.